Evident in the rivalry between the 49ers and the Cowboys. Despite early season injuries, the 49ers have reeled off 7 straight wins and own the NFC's best record. But critics still feel the 49ers need to validate themselves with a win against Dallas. For the Cowboys, yesteryear can be recalled but not recaptured. Battered and bruised, the Cowboys may not be the premier team they have been for the last several years, but they are still the benchmark of the NFC East. And today's pivotal game could be a true test of where their season is headed. An absolute gorgeous day as you look at 3Com Park packed for the match with the Dallas Cowboys, and it is perfect. One thing you can't blame today when the 49ers face the Cowboys is the weather, because there is no wind. It just couldn't be better. Pat Summerall here with John Madden, and let's talk first about the Dallas Cowboys. Their record is 4-4, yet they have been stumbling. They've been criticized. What can they do, John, in your opinion, to right the ship?
Well, you know, I think they're playing scared, as I said earlier, and they worry too much. I think they just have to go out and just let it go and go play, because they're not as good as they used to be, but they still have the parts. I remember when we used to talk about the Dallas Cowboys all the way back when Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator, and he says, you know, all we have to do is hand it to Emmett and throw it to Michael. And, you know, they still have Emmett. They still have Michael Irvin. They still have Troy Aikman throwing. The offensive line is a little shaky. They have to be able to pick up blitzes, but I think they can do those things. Now, on defense, I think they have to worry about the run. You know, anytime you play the 49ers, you have to worry about Steve Young running, because that's always a big thing. And now the 49ers have a running game, too. And they need Darren Woodson today. Darren Woodson didn't play for him last week. He's going to try and play today, and they need a healthy Darren Woodson.
Yeah, he'll certainly help matters. Now, the 49ers lost Jerry Rice in the first game of the season, the best receiver perhaps ever to play the game of pro football. And it's hard to say that you can become a better team by losing the best player, but that might be the case with San Francisco.
Yeah, well, they become a more balanced team. I mean, they not only lost Jerry Rice, but they also have a new coach in Steve Mariucci, so they're going to bring about a new offense. And what I like about it, there's a heck of a lot of balance there. And talking to Steve Young yesterday, he said, you know, we never know who the star is going to be. He said, we just throw it to the open guy. Defense is going to be a little tough for them today, because they're playing without their best defensive player in Bryant Young, and they know that they have to stop the run. Now, the other thing that they're going to do is they're going to match up Rod Woodson on Michael Irvin. So you talk about two big physical guys going after each other. You have it out there at wide receiver today.
So coming up, it's the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers from San Francisco. And John and I will be back for the opening kickoff when Fox NFL Sunday continues. The stage is set. The sellout crowd, the match long heralded between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. And by the way, in the last 8 games, the last 8 meetings between these two teams, the team that has turned it over the fewest number of times in each game has won.
Remember the last time they played here, and Elvis Gerbach was in there. Yeah. Steve Young had been knocked out, and he threw an interception to Fred Strickland. And the Cowboys won that one in overtime.
Thompson kicks it off barefooted in the direction of Herschel Walker and Brock Marion. It's Walker who fumbles it and then picks it up. And Walker gets back to the 20. And let's have a look at the Dallas offense. Quarterbacked and led by Troy Aikman, 4-4 in his career against the 49ers. In front of him, Hegeman, Newton, Shiver, Allen, and Eric Williams. Emmitt Smith and Herschel Walker, who starts at fullback, Miller and Irvin wide, and Eric Bjornson at tight end. From the 20. Hegeman in place of Tournay at left tackle. And Aikman the quarterback. Bjornson starts in motion, and Aikman goes back to throw it. No place to throw it. Let's look at the 49er defense. Dolman, Stubblefield, Washington. His first start inside. Roy Barker, the other defensive end. The 3 linebackers, Ken Norton Jr., former Cowboy, Plummer and Woodall. And the secondary, Darnell Walker in place of Pope, Hanks McDonald, and Rod Woodson, who will shadow Michael Irvin. And that's where he goes to the top of your picture. Walker, the fullback. Emmett Smith is deep. Smith for 4.
You know, one thing we said that the Dallas Cowboys have to run, and of course when they run, Emmett Smith has to do the majority of it, but they're missing a big part of that running offense in Darrell Johnston. You know, without having the Moose in there, they run those lead plays, and they're not like the Moose lead plays when Herschel Walker is leading in there as he did on that last one.
The Moose had surgery on Friday, was out of the hospital in Dallas on Saturday, and seems to be doing very well. Aikman straight back. Pass is caught by Eric Bjornsson. That's a little bit. Well, it's very close to a first down. I better not say anything.
That was an interesting formation, Pat. They lined up Bjornsson outside. See, he's the outside most receiver. Now he's going to come back in motion. You see, he comes back in motion. Now he becomes a slot. Now he's going to come up, and he's going to run an out right there on Merton Hanks. And the ball was thrown right at the 30-yard line.
And again, Bjornsson used his size to his advantage against Merton Hanks.
And I think he used his hands to his advantage to push off, too.
Well,
they're all doing that today. They're all doing that.
If you don't do it, you don't get open. First down.
But that was an interesting formation when they put the tight end out as a wide receiver and then bring him in motion, and then Merton Hanks comes in motion with him, and then he comes up and just runs enough for the first down.
Just barely enough, but it is a first.
Look at the way Eric Williams gets in the huddle. I like that. Everyone else kind of has their hands on their knees. Eric Williams, a big right tackle, he takes a knee. Takes a knee to get in the huddle.
2 tight end setup this time. That's Anthony Miller in motion, and Aikman back to throw it. He hits Miller, and Miller is taken back to the 30. Darnell Walker made the stop. That only gained a couple of yards. Key injuries on the Dallas side. On offense, Darrell Johnston, we just talked about him, and Mark Tuinei, Hageman in his place, and Chad Hennings. They miss him in the middle. He'll be back in a few weeks. And for the 49ers, Rice, Harris, Barton out for the year, Brian Young, and Marquez Pope. They should be back. Nicky Sualua is the Dallas fullback. Emmett Smith gets the carry, hit by Norton.
And did Nicky Sualua get a block? That's what they put him in there for. You know, we said that Herschel Walker isn't Moose Johnston, but Nicky Sualua is going to come in here, and he's going to take on Roy Barton. And you're going to see right there. Watch Barton. Watch Sualua right there. Boom! And Barton goes right on his back. Now that is a block. When you can take a fullback and put him on a big defensive end, and Roy Barker is a big defensive end, and put that big defensive end on his back, now you're blocking.
They list Sualua as 257 pounds, 3 wide receivers this time on third down for the Cowboys. Here comes the blitz off the corner. Aikman gets it out in a hurry. And Stepfret Williams, who has become the third down target, gets another Dallas first down.
Troy Aikman looks pretty sharp. You know, remember last week he had the concussion and said his head was hurting him all week, and it was worse on Wednesday, but he said then he went and had an MRI on Thursday, and then said he started to feel better towards the end of the week, and he looks pretty calm and confident in the pocket now.
2 tight ends set up again. Bjornsson went in motion. Aikman goes back. Going deep. And he missed Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller looked like he might have tripped at the end, and there's a flag on the play.
And that flag is not downfield where Anthony Miller was, where Anthony Miller tripped.
Number 38, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Darnell Walker
It was right there at the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, watch what Troy Aikman missed there. Eric Bjornsson, he sees it there. He was running up that seam, and he was wide open. Now, Merton Hanks was behind there in a zone, but there was a period of about 10 yards there where Eric Bjornsson was running wide open.
Walker in front of Emmitt Smith this time. First down, Cowboys. To Emmitt. Emmitt Smith sifts his way for a pickup of a couple. Lee Woodall made the stop.
You know, when you get a guy like George Hageman, who's 6'7" and 330 pounds out there in front, he was out there leading and just blocking on that play, and the 49ers were coming up and they were trying to find Emmitt Smith, and you just can't see around him. Watch, when you get a guy like that out there, they don't know where he is.
No.
I mean, he just blocks out the sun, and they're trying to look around Hageman to find Emmitt Smith.
Woodall found him. Billy Davis now comes in motion. Now comes back the other way, and Aikman gives ahead to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt Smith will get a Dallas first down at the 49er 40 before he's wrestled down by Rod Woodson.
And he hit that play in a great trap block by Nate Newton. You got to watch the left guard on this. You're always talking about Nate's too old, he's too this, that, but watch him come over here and trap right here. He's the guy that makes the hole. Watch the left guard when he pulls there. This is what a trap block is. You see, boom, right there. You see, again, that's also on Roy Barker.
Yep.
And Emmitt Smith was right in behind Nate Newton, and he ran right off that block.
First down, Cowboys at the San Francisco 40. Three wide receiver set up. They have mixed up their formation so far. Aikman back to throw it with time. Incomplete. Anthony Miller, the target, covered by Walker.
Hubbard Alexander, the wide receiver coach of the Dallas Cowboys, was saying before the game that this is the best week that Anthony Miller had working with Troy Aikman and his timing. Of course, you know on the other side that Rod Woodson is man-to-man over there on Michael Irvin, and I think that they want to work on Darnell Walker. And if you're going to work on Darnell Walker, then you have to do it with Anthony Miller.
Those of you who watch Tampa Bay come from behind to beat Indianapolis 31-28, welcome to 3Com Park, San Francisco. This is Dallas' first possession. 49ers haven't had the ball yet. The pass complete to Anthony Miller from Aikman. Play number 10 of their opening drive. No score as yet, but the Cowboys have looked sharp. Sharper than we've seen them in a long time.
And they're moving the ball around. I mean, we see him throw it to Bjornsson. We see him throw it to Anthony Miller. We see him throw it to the backs. He has yet to throw it to Michael Irvin, though. When we talk about that matchup, I know that John Marshall, the defensive coordinator of the 49ers, said he wants his big physical corner, which is Rod Woodson, on their big physical receiver, and that's what you have right up there on top.
3rd and 3 and 2 tight ends. Aikman back. Has time. To Bjornsson.
You know, Aikman isn't even looking out there at Michael Irvin, and I think Michael Irvin is starting to get a little frustrated because of it, because he does not have help. Rod Woodson is out there on a man-to-man. Watch Troy Aikman here. He is looking to his right side the whole way. He throws it to Eric Bjornsson. He doesn't even look in the left side. Now here's the matchup that we're talking about. Michael Irvin against Rod Woodson. You see, and he has him there. I mean, for a step or two right there, and he's starting to get a little frustrated. I can feel it from here.
Sualua in the backfield with Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt stopped for no gain. There at the 49er 25.5-yard line, that was Marvin Washington who made the stop. He's replacing Bryant Young.
Yeah, well, the 49ers have run out of defensive tackles because Bryant Young is their starting left tackle and best of the bunch, and then their backup is Junior Bryant. He is also injured, although he may play today. So they had to move Marvin Washington in. It was a normal defensive end, although he played a little tackle for the Jets last year.
Played inside, so it's not totally new to him. Emmitt Smith goes in motion. Boy, how often do you see that?
This has to be a pass.
And here comes the blitz, and here comes Aikman on his back, hit by Stubblefield.
Stubblefield came right up the middle. Once Emmitt Smith left the backfield, there was an open backfield. There was no one back there. So if you watch this, now it's going to have to be a pass. So the 49ers come on a blitz. Dana Stubblefield makes a little move to the right. No one blocks him.
No one blocked him.
And he's right there. Watch Dana Stubblefield, 94. By the time the tight end gets over there, it's too late.
He is a big load.
But that formation, with no backs in the backfield, will tend to invite a blitz up the middle.
Third down, Aikman retreats. And down he goes. This time by Kevin Green.
Kevin Green just wicked Eric Williams.
Aikman slow to get to his feet.
And I don't know that he's going to get to his feet.
Now Aikman walks off okay, apparently.
Kevin Green lined up on Eric Williams, and Eric Williams is a big tackle that you don't see get bull rush like that much. He just gets bull rush. Look what Kevin Green did to Eric Williams there. That's a shot you're not going to see a lot.
Those two sacks took him out of field goal
right here.
range.
He just gets underneath him, Pat. Watch. He just straightens him right up and then gets off him and makes the sack on Troy Aikman. A heck of a rush by Kevin Green.
Going back to punt, and does. They'll let it bounce and sails into the end zone. Aikman was shaken momentarily, now heads for the sideline, appears to be okay. And the 49ers will get their first shot from their own 20.
They said that's a sight that you don't often see, is some guy bull rushing or some guy just overpowering Eric Williams. I think all the Dallas Cowboys really have to be concerned now about Troy Aikman, because we know that a week ago he had a concussion. He said his headaches got worse during the week. Wednesday was his worst day. He had an MRI on Thursday. Then they gave him medication to get rid of the headaches.
Garrison Hearst, the ball carrier, gets about 6. Stopped by Brock Marion. Let's look at the 49er offense. Led by the very talented Steve Young. In front of him, Deese Brown, Dahlman, Gogan, and Strafford. Garrison Hearst and William Floyd in the backfield. Stokes and Owens wide, and Greg Clark, the rookie, is the tight end. Like to welcome those of you who watched Atlanta beat St. Louis 34-31. Welcome to the 49ers' first possession. First down, Garrison Hearst. Stopped by Shante Carver. Let's look at the Dallas defense. Carver, Antonio Anderson in place of Hennings, Casillas, and Tolbert. Coakley, Strickland in the middle, and Randall Godfrey, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Deion Sanders, Kevin Smith, the corners. Brock Marion, Darian Woodson, the two safeties. 49er first down. Young back for his first pass attempt. Batted down. Batted down by Anderson, I believe. Troy Aikman on the sideline, and here's the hit on Aikman by Kevin Green.
Now you're going to see Kevin Green come from Troy Aikman's right side. He's working there against Eric Williams. He comes off, and Aikman started to throw the ball, had to hold it, and you see as he's driven into the ground, the first thing that hits the ground is his head.
2nd and 10. Flag on the play. Young gets to Floyd, but a penalty marker down. Aikman last week.
Yeah, that's where Jimmy Jones came in and hit him right there, just helmet to helmet. And that was in the first half of the game. They took him in the locker room, and he said he thought he could play after that, but just by those pictures and just looking at him, you knew that last week he can't play, and I don't know that he's going to be able to play now either.
Remember, he was hit twice. Blitz first by Stubblefield, then that hit by Kevin Green.
Yeah, and the Kevin Green one really got him because his head was just pile driven into the ground.
Out of the backfield is Stokes. That's Owens, and Owens is slung down finally inside the Dallas 40 at about the 37-yard line by Darren Woodson.
And that's Terrell Owens, a big wide receiver. I mean, when you can get a guy like this, and you just watch him right here, he becomes a slot now, and he runs a little slant. but he is so big and so strong. He's not going to outrun a lot of guys, but he's going to run over and through a heck of a lot of guys, as he just did there.
They're going to bounce off him. He's bigger than that.
Yeah, and you know, you just meet him. I mean, he looks like he's made of steel. I mean, he is so built so strong and tight.
Hand off to Floyd, who squirms down inside the Dallas 35. The word we have on Troy Aikman is that he lost a contact lens, and we think he'll be back.
That's a good news. I'm a firm believer that they have to study concussions more in this league and keep better records than they do, and have an objective program for concussions rather than just, you know, whatever the guy says he feels.
2nd and 8. Young. Pass is picked off as he tried to screen it. It's Deion Sanders, and Sanders is upended by Young. Steve Young, as Sanders picked off the screen pass and puts Dallas back in business.
Watch this tackle here by Steve Young. He knows that he's the last guy, and if he doesn't get him, no one is going to get Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders got up, and he was really upset with Tony Casillas, who should have blocked Steve Young.
Heck of a tackle by Steve Young. Deion Sanders, who just intercepted that attempted screen pass by Steve Young and the 49ers. And Aikman is back at quarterback. Miller was the man in motion. Aikman to throw it. Pass caught inside the 30 by Bjornsson.
Let's watch the interception again here. You see, when the wide receiver runs across, Deion Sanders becomes free. Then he reads the lineman pulling, so he comes up to play the screen. And what happens is Steve Young just throws it high. This is a poor throw. You see the screen start to develop, and again the screen man was covered. So Steve Young, I think, was trying to throw it away because he just threw it over the guy's head. And he figured, after I messed up a play like that, I'd better make a tackle.
Hand off to Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt to the 25 right now. Let's return you to Joe Buck at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
All right, Pat and John, 2 for the price of 1. Michael Houston hits a 36-yard field goal with 8 seconds left. Tampa Bay escapes Indianapolis with a 3-point win. They snap a 3-game losing skid. Indy still winless. And the Jets beat Baltimore in overtime on rookie John Hall's 37-yarder. Glenn Foley set up the game-winning field goal. First time the Jets have been in sole possession of first place since 1986. Back to San Francisco, Pat and John.
A double update from McDonald. That's Sherman Williams pounding down to the 12-yard line.
And now you know what area the Cowboys are in, don't you?
Yep. The old red zone or green zone, whatever it is.
Yep, here's Sherman Williams here again with the I formation, and you're just going to see a lead here. Herschel Walker leads and gets a pretty good block on Ken Norton. He takes Ken Norton down, Norton goes down, and Sherman Williams goes boom right in behind him. You can look at this red zone offense. This has really been a problem. The Cowboys are 29th in the league in this area scoring touchdowns.
First down, Williams at the line of scrimmage by Gary Plummer.
We talk about the Cowboys being so bad, and then you look at the red zone defense of the 49ers. They've been in there 15 times. They've allowed 7 touchdowns and 3 field goals. So there is something that you can get in there.
2nd and 9.
And that's the problem. You see, that's one of their problems. The Cowboys have been in the red zone, run on first down, don't make any yards, and then get 2nd and 3rd and long.
Walker in motion. Emmitt Smith in the backfield with Aikman. To Emmitt. Inside the 5.
But I'll tell you, and I've been saying this all year, and you know, part of it is a pass protection, part of it is a blitzing, but Troy Aikman has taken way too many hits this year. And you just look at that, that's the thing, to throw off their timing. Everyone is saying every time Troy Aikman goes back to pass, you got to put him on his back. That was Roy Barker doing it that time. That's also Roy Barker limping off the field.
And the 49ers are really weak in the defensive line. Sherman Williams replaces Emmitt Smith. Walker's the other back. Aikman backpedals. Aikman, touchdown, flag on the play. Michael Irvin was the target.
46 defense.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
It's against Tim McDonald, but the Cowboys get on the scoreboard first. The interception by Sanders, the touchdown pass from Aikman to Irvin.
That's Troy Aikman. He's backing out. Now, when he backs straight out, that means he's trying to throw to his left. He was trying to throw to the left. Good pass protection because he didn't have anyone left. Then he went to the middle, and then he finally threw it out to his right to Michael Irvin. That was great pass protection, although Chris Dolman got there just after he threw the ball.
Cunningham for the extra point. Bjornsson holding. Hellestray snapping. 7-0. The Cowboys lead the 49ers at 3Com Park. The interception by Deion Sanders, and the 49ers screen set it up. 7, San Francisco nothing. 31 seconds remaining first quarter. Time of possession, Dallas has had the ball 11 minutes 36 seconds. 49ers only one possession, 2:53. Toby Goen to kick off to Awazake and Levy. Back deep. Short kick. That will be Chuck Levy, who might be the fastest of the 49ers. To the 29-yard line, where Steve Young and the offensive unit will take over, trailing the Dallas Cowboys 7-0. One of the world's most enduring symbols, the Goodyear blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California, has been providing these beautiful aerial pictures. 1997 marks the 72nd consecutive year that a Goodyear blimp has flown over a major sporting event. Flag on the play. 21 seconds left in the first quarter.
Remember last? I was just going to say, remember last time we were here?
Number 85.
I sure do.
5 yards. First down.
We not only had the blimp flying over, but in the third quarter, I think it was, lo and behold, here come the Blue Angels.
And they were just about in the booth with us.
They went over here eye level.
I thought you were going to leave.
Well, I didn't expect to see Blue Angels fly by at eye level.
Not yet, anyway. Garrison Hearst, the ball carrier, gets 3 yards. Stopped by Casillas.
Troy Aikman looks like he's okay now. That whatever it was, I mean, you know, even if it was just a contact lens or whatever, it's straightened out. He looks like he's cleared up right now.
So that's the end of the first quarter. They'll swap ends of the field. Dallas leads San Francisco by the score of 7-0. 7-0. The Cowboys over the 49ers. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 49ers had the ball at their own 27-yard line. Young back to throw it. To Owens, incomplete. Coverage by Kevin Smith, who's upset about something.
Well, he's upset about Terrell Owens. He's saying that he's pushing him because it's going to be a real physical match. I mean, these are two big wide receivers. Listen.
I can't touch him. He can't touch me.
Well, Kevin Smith is setting it up so that he doesn't get called later.
Yep.
What he's setting up is, you know, if he does touch him, that he wants to say that Terrell Owens is the guy who's doing the pushing, not him.
Now, how does he know the defense? He never went to the huddle.
Yeah, neither he nor Deion Sanders go to the huddle. They just play their man.
Here's Steve Young. Steve slides short of a first down.
And they play their man pretty well because that time Steve Young was trying to go to Terrell Owens again, and Kevin Smith had a man-to-man all over the field, and he was right on him. He was like he was wearing him. Just watch it down here. Here they are. You see, he gets the bump. That's legal in the first 5 yards. Then he just covers them all the way. He's a little underneath, meaning that if Steve Young throws that ball, Kevin Smith was in position to intercept it. That's why Steve Young ran with it.
Deion Sanders back to punt, back to receive the punt. Good kick it is by Tommy Thompson. Sanders has it at the 20. Shakes one, but only one.
That was a perfect kick. They were trying to directional kick, which means you kick between the numbers and the sideline.
The snapper, Randy Kirk, brought him down. Don't know if he is in possession of a ticket or not.
Well, you know what happens is the 49ers just reseeded this offense, so there's a lot of good feed and seed out there for these birds.
They are close to danger. Right behind the Cowboy offensive unit. Aikman back to throw. Lost his one deep. Incomplete. No flags. Anthony Miller, the intended receiver. Darnell Walker with him.
Well, that's what they figure they have to go to. If they're going to work on someone, it's Darnell Walker. And like I said earlier, Anthony Miller is going to be the guy to do it. Darnell Walker is right there with him now. That's perfect coverage. I mean, he feels him. He knows where Anthony Miller is, and he knows where the ball is, and he knows where that pigeon is. Because one of the rules is you always cover your man and never step in the pigeon.
This is Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt to about the 28 before he's pulled backwards by Ken Norton.
Emmitt Smith is being bothered by something. I'm not sure if it's a cramp or what, but every time he goes down, he gets up gingerly. In fact, you can see he's going off the field.
He limped off.
Yeah. But here he finished that run off. You see the difference here? Remember last week he was getting hit and stopping his feet. Now he got hit and he kept driving.
Emmitt on the sideline. Sherman Williams in his place. 3rd and 5. Cowboys are 5 out of 6 on 3rd down. 3 wide receiver setup. No flags. Aikman. Sherman Williams makes the first down catch, gets out to the 49er, to the Cowboy 38.
You know, Stepford Williams is really, I think, on 3rd down, become a Troy Aikman's favorite receiver.
The 3rd down man he has become.
They have, you know, Anthony Miller, Michael Irvin, of course, they're the receivers. And on 3rd down, they bring Stepford Williams in. He usually plays in the slot. But if you look at this, he's had 13 3rd down receptions, 11 of them for the 1st down.
If he can keep that up, that's a pretty good pace.
So at some point, they're going to say, hey, on 3rd down, we better watch old Stepford Williams.
At some point. There's a flag on the play on this one, as Sherman Williams was brought down before the play developed, but this is going to be against the 49ers. Let's go down to Pam Oliver now for a report for a moment. Obviously, we've got some kind of problem with our communication with Pam, who's down on the sideline. Dana Stubblefield was the man who jumped.
Yeah, and Dana Stubblefield was also the guy that made the tackle, and the reason that he made the tackle and got in the backfield so quickly is he left before the ball was snapped. Where old Sherman Williams was back there trying to get the ball, and Dana Stubblefield really got a jump on that play.
Aikman deep for Miller, knocked away at the last second by Tyrone Drakeford. Looked as if he had him.
Now they're staying away from Michael Irvin. I think they figure, and he is upset. Remember I said earlier that I could just feel him getting frustrated. You know, it is because the game plan is to stay away from Michael Irvin, is to work against the other guys, because Rod Woodson is on Michael Irvin. And just watch this. On the top, we have the quarterback. On the bottom, we have Anthony Miller. But what he does is he's spending too much time. Excuse me, there's Michael Irvin down there. You see, and he gets by Rod Woodson right there, and he wants the ball right now. And Troy Aikman didn't even look to that side.
Williams by Norton.
And you can see with Michael Irvin, he got by Rod Woodson right on the line of scrimmage, and he was wide open all that play. And Troy Aikman never did look to the right side where Michael Irvin was.
Irvin's back in the huddle. 3rd down, and about 6 out of 7 on 3rd down. Stepford Williams you look for. Aikman calls a timeout. 11:21 left to go in the second period. Dallas 7, San Francisco nothing.
Sideline a few minutes ago, Emmitt Smith left the field. The last several minutes, the trainers and doctors have been trying to stretch out what looked like the area of his groin. They weren't able to do that. He went out, gave it a shot, came back in. He's back in the dressing room now. We'll get a report, and he is questionable for his return. Pat?
All right, Pam, thank you. Communication's much better that time. 3rd and 7. Barry Switzer viewing the proceedings from in front of the Cowboy bench. Again, the Cowboys 6 out of 7 on 3rd down in situations like this to get first down. Aikman back to throw it. Pass is batted into the air and falls incomplete, and the Cowboys will have to punt.
I'll tell you, Eric Williams is really having trouble with Kevin Green. I think you get ready for one guy, you get ready for Roy Barker over there, and then they bring a different kind of guy in. And Kevin Green is doing things to Eric Williams early in this game that I haven't seen done to him in years.
Toby going back to punt. Owezeke is back deep for the 49ers. Owens kicks a good one. Coming out of the sunlight to Owezeke. Down at about the 19-yard line by Dexter Coakley. He plays and he covers. He does both very well. There comes Emmitt Smith back. He went in, as Pam said a moment ago, to be retaped. His left groin. He's walking pretty well, but that's not running.
You know, for most of the first half on the sideline, they've been trying to stretch that out.
Yeah. That's Garrison Hearst with the ball, stopped by Fred Strickland.
There we talk about where we see big Nate Newton pull. Watch big old Kevin Gogan pull. When here's another 330-pound guy, and you get him out there. This isn't the strength of his game, but
no.
He does block out a defense. Although that was played well, where the defender took him on, Randall Godfrey took him on, came off him, and made the tackle.
He blocks out the light as well as the defense. Here's Young back to throw it. Wheels it up. Who that was, but he took
That's Randall Godfrey. That's the second shot by Randall Godfrey.
J.J. Stokes.
And we just saw Randall Godfrey on the play before take on Kevin Gogan to make a tackle. And we see Randall Godfrey playing in a zone defense, just being free, and he catches J.J. Stokes coming on across. That's Randall Godfrey is number 56. Here's J.J. Stokes coming on a crossing pattern. See all the way across the field, and right there you see Randall Godfrey. He was just in a zone. He was waiting, and he saw J.J. Stokes coming all the way.
That'll make you change directions in a hurry. Score remains Dallas 7, San Francisco nothing. 10:17 left in the first half. 3rd and 4 for the 49ers at their own, well, just inside their own 25. Here's Young. Gets it outside. That'll be enough first down to Owens. Terrell Owens, as John Madden was saying earlier, is so big and strong. There's Brent Jones.
Yeah, and Steve Young was saying, with Terrell Owens and his size, you have to just treat him like a basketball player, and even if he's covered, just throw the ball to him where the other guy can't touch it, and he'll be able to use his body to shield off the defender.
He'll go get it.
And then if you just get it and he just falls, he's going to get first down.
First down, San Francisco. Young will throw it on first. Being chased. Throws it away. Chased by Shante Carver. Finally just threw it out of bounds. The Aflac trivia question for today. How many Super Bowl rings does the Fox halftime announcing crew have between them?
I mean, if they just all took their Super Bowl rings that they earned over the years collectively and just put them out on the table.
Well, JB,
like he would a poker game.
JB, I don't think he wouldn't have any.
He went to Harvard, and Harvard didn't play in any Super Bowls that I know of.
I can't remember if they did. The handoff to Hearst. Garrison Hearst picked up about 4. Coakley on the stop.
You know, on that play before, Steve Young was smart, though, in throwing the ball away. Because there is a rule that once you get outside the area of the 2 tight ends where they would normally line up on your offense, that you can throw the ball away if you throw it to the line of scrimmage. And he was getting rushed on that play. He ran outside that tight end box and just threw the ball away so he didn't have to take a loss.
3rd and 6. Young back. Has time. Got it to Uwezike, and he won't get enough for the first down. Why throw it?
Well, that's what Steve Young is upset with.
Yep.
He's upset with Uwezike that, you know, that's the idea, that if you throw it short of the first down, then the receiver has to run for the first down. I always believed in the other theory is you throw it where you already have the first down, because the defenses, especially these nickel defenses, all the players on there are very, very good tacklers.
Thompson back to punt. Sanders back deep for Dallas.
When we talk about the directional punting, he wants to punt it outside the numbers, so you can get it outside the numbers, between the numbers and the sideline.
That's a good punt, but he can return it. Gets up to about the 28-yard line. Sanders always looking for that just little crease. He says there's always one there. Gary Plummer on special teams makes the stop. The Bay, that's Sherman Williams, who has replaced Emmitt Smith. Go back to that Aflac question. How many rings, Super Bowl rings, does the Fox halftime announcing crew have between them? That's the same crew as the pregame and postgame show.
Well, I'll give you a hint. Here's one guy right there watching. He has 1. He's the guy that has 1. The other guys aren't there because they had to go and get a wheelbarrow to carry theirs. So the answer, I guess, is 9 then, huh?
The answer is 9.
But Howie had his 1. He just carries his with him in his pocket all the time.
Pretty good credentials. Here's Aikman. Irvin. Close to a first.
Yeah, the 49ers really have a makeshift defense in there, because we talked earlier about how Bryant Young was injured, and now they're playing. Junior Bryant is playing in there. Marvin Washington is playing in there. Roy Barker has been injured, and he's out. And Chris Dolman is in there along with Kevin Green. So they have 2 of their regular 4. 2 of their starting 4 are not in there. Roy Barker was injured in this game, and of course Bryant Young.
Barker's problem is a calf, a strained calf, and we don't know if he'll be back or not. Here's Irvin.
Well, this is a physical matchup that we've been talking about all day. Rod Woodson out there against Michael Irvin. I think probably Michael Irvin did some politicking over in the sideline and had some talks and say, hey, let me get into this game. Let me work this guy. Throw me some things, because if you do, he doesn't have great speed, and I can beat him deep later on in the game.
He goes wide right, and Aikman drops. Aikman is decking down again from around the corner.
In fact, he could have beaten him deep right there, I think, because Rod Woodson was man-to-man out there on Michael Irvin. I think that's where Troy Aikman was going to go, but he didn't have time because Rod Woodson didn't have any help whatsoever.
The pump fake.
But here's an isolation of it, and you see right there, he just gets by him, uses his hands, so he has a step or 2. Had Troy Aikman been able to get that ball out of there, there was no safety or anyone.
There's Chris Dolman, who put the heat on.
Yeah, see, Chris Dolman comes from that backside going against George Hageman. Just went right around George Hageman.
Aikman gives to Sherman Williams. Back to about the original line of scrimmage. They'll still need 10 for a first.
You know, that's why offense is such a team thing. I mean, you can talk about that Irvin can beat Rod Woodson deep, and he proved that he could beat Rod Woodson deep, but they didn't have the time. They didn't get the pass protection. So it's one of those things that on every play, everyone on offense has to do their job, or the play doesn't have a chance.
3rd down and long. 3 wide receivers set up for the Cowboys.
There's a big matchup right there. Kevin Green against Eric Williams.
Aikman gets it out and gets it to Irvin and gets a first for Dallas.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I think that Michael Irvin can work against Rod Woodson. He can do things. He can get an out. I think he can get deep. But the thing that you have to do is you have to block him. Now watch, Michael Irvin is down here in the bottom, and watch this. how in sync they are. The minute that he makes his cut, look, he's making his cut right there, and Troy Aikman is throwing the ball. Not to where he is, but when he makes his cut, the ball is coming out of there. And the ball is going to where Michael Irvin is going to go. That's perfect timing.
1st and 10. Miller in motion. Aikman back. Time incomplete. Going for Miller right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to Joe Buck at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
All right, Pat and John. Well, the Eagles have had special teams problems all season long. They turned the tables on the Cardinals. Willie Clark takes a foiled onside kick, 39 yards back the other way for the game-tying touchdown. Tied at 7. 10 minutes left in the half. Back to Pat and John in San Francisco.
I wonder how many times that happens in the course of onside kicking history. Billy Davis, top of your picture. LaFleur, the man in motion. Aikman gives to Williams. A yard, maybe.
Yeah, we saw Anthony Miller on that play before trying to beat Darnell Walker. And you know, they always say that Anthony Miller has good speed, but I've never seen it in a game. I have never seen Anthony Miller ever use his speed in a game to beat anyone deep. And that's the thing that I think they were counting on today, that if they're going to double Michael Irvin, if they're going to do things to Michael Irvin, then Anthony Miller has to come up and make big plays. They say he has great speed,
but he never separates.
But I never see him separate or outrun anyone in a game.
3rd and 9. Aikman has 3 wide receivers, 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Now in motion, Williams, Stepford. Aikman looking left. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it. Good rush by the 49er defense. Miller, the intended target.
And again, Aikman ends up on his back. That's the thing. We talked to John Marshall, the defensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers, yesterday. And he says, we're not going to do a lot of blitzing, but we know that we have to stop the run, and we have to be in Troy Aikman's face every time he throws the ball. And you can see when they do, he doesn't have a chance. When they don't do that, then he can hook up pretty well with Michael Irvin.
Oezeke back. Toby going to kick for the Cowboys. Bates in front of him controlling things. Oezeke signals fair catch, makes it at the 12. Tonight is the premiere of the X-Files.
What are you doing after the game? I'm going home to watch the X-Files.
I love that show. Are you kidding me? I'm checking out the season premiere of the X-Files.
I'm watching the X-Files. That's what's up.
Everybody's talking about the season premiere of the X-Files, and now it's just a few hours away. Tonight on Fox. 49ers, of course, are in the early stages of developing a new stadium. It'll be located near this site, not exactly on the same site. Where we are now will be used for parking after they get the new stadium built. Here's Steve Young. Gets it out to Brent Jones, and Jones stopped after a couple of yard pickup by Kevin Smith.
Yeah, there's an amazing guy, isn't it, Brent Jones, that a couple of weeks ago we saw him and he hurt his leg. He wasn't sure what it was. They took x-rays and found he had a broken leg, and about a week later he was out practicing and trying to get back in the game. And it seems like there's always something with this guy, but he is a tough guy, and he wants to play in every game and every practice, and he's a great competitor.
Chuck Levy at wide receiver now. Young throwing it in that direction and overthrows Chuck Levy. They've been working him in the last couple of weeks at wide receiver, the 49ers have.
Well, Chuck Levy had been a running back, and Garrison Hearst and Terry Kirby are doing that. So Steve Mariucci said that we've been working him out here a little. And we have a few plays for him because he says that he could be the fastest guy on this team. So anytime you have the fastest guy on the team, what are you going to do with him? You're going to get him in there, try and get him out there one-on-one coverage and throw him up. Again, there was no separation on that play between Chuck Levy and Kevin Smith, the defender.
The two fastest guys on the team don't separate. 3rd and 8 on both teams. Here's Young back to throw it. Has time. Incomplete. Almost intercepted.
I tell you, this Dallas pass defense has been outstanding in this first half, because the 49ers haven't had any place to go, and they can't get any regularity. I mean, they can get a play here and a play there, but they can't get anything where they can march the ball down the field and get any first down.
Deion Sanders, excuse me.
No, I was just going to say part of it is them, but part of it is very good Dallas defense.
Deion Sanders back deep. Tommy Thompson to punt it for the 49ers. The Cowboys trying to set up a return for Sanders. This kick's going to hang up there for a while, and Sanders gets away from it. This Tuesday will be a big night on Fox.
Tuesday, secrets revealed.
Oh, there he goes.
How fast will some people go to avoid capture? The world's scariest police chases 3. Then, why does wildlife rage out of control? The world's deadliest swarms.
Don't miss 2 all-new specials Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Not even a trace of a wave in the bay. Perfect day.
Yeah, you know, I've said this before, that this is one of the great secrets, or used to be one of the great secrets until I've said it on national television. The best weather in San Francisco is the end of September, October, and the beginning of November. This is like the summer here.
Today, Aikman gives to Sherman Williams. Flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. Williams got good yardage.
That's going to be in the area of Dallas Cowboy holding. They threw it right at Eric Bjornson. And again, it didn't come right at the time, and it is offensive holding. It came about halfway through the development of the play.
This is one of the things, penalties, that have really hurt the Cowboys.
And he just said it's on 86, Eric Bjornson, and that was the guy that they threw the flag right at.
So it'll be 1st and 20. Nicky Sualua is 45.
I think you can tell now that when Nicky Sualua comes in, that's probably going to be a running play or a lead play. When Herschel Walker's in there, it's either going to be a pass or an outside play.
Less than 3 minutes left in the first half. Aikman tosses back to Sherman Williams, who gets a couple of yards, stopped by Ken Norton. They've kept that 49er defense on the field a lot in the first half.
Yeah, and that's something that usually shows up in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
You know, it's like the boxers. I mean, you work the body in the first 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds, and then it shows up in round 10, 11, and 12.
2 minutes, 20 seconds. Timeout taken by San Francisco. Courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Today's pilot is Joel Chamberlain from Norwood, Massachusetts, a long way from home, with a good view today. Perfect. 2nd and 17. That's not a perfect situation. You get the 2-minute warning in 20 seconds. Here's Aikman back to throw. There's a wide open Michael Irvin, who steps out of bounds, stops the clock. They used 5 seconds. 2:15 left. Emmitt Smith out. They took him back to the locker room. They worked on him earlier, trying to stretch out that problem groin. Then they took him in to retape, but he hasn't returned since he came back from the retape job.
Yeah, and after they stretched him out like this, then he went in and ran another play, and then when that didn't work, then he went up and had the groin retaped, and as you say, he hasn't been back in the game since. Because now it's going to start tightening it up.
49er timeout. They have 1 left. Timeouts remaining. The 49ers 1, Dallas 2. And, of course, we'll get the 2-minute warning in 7 seconds or after this play. The great Jerry Rice.
You know, and he's talking about being back sooner than anyone expected. They thought maybe for playoffs, and he said his target date is December 15th.
2 tight ends set up as Aikman gets it outside. The pass is intercepted. Intended for Bjornson. Picked off by Tyrone Drakeford.
Yep, they call him Deuce or Double Deuce, and he was on Bjornson all the way. In fact, he plays Bjornson underneath. You watch Bjornson is right here, and watch Drakeford here is going to sneak. You see, and he takes the interception angle. because he has help deep. You see, when he has a man behind him, then he can take that interception or cutoff angle. Tyrone Drakeford did it. Troy Aikman didn't see it and threw it right to him.
2 minutes, 1 second left.
You see why he can do this is because he has this. If you have someone behind you, then you can jump in front of the ball, and that's exactly what Tyrone Drakeford did.
1st and 10. Steve Young. Back to throw it. Swings it outside to Floyd, and Floyd goes into Dallas territory, brought down at the 48 by Kevin Smith. Turnovers are 1 apiece, and remember, whoever wins that turnover battle, the last 8 meetings between these two has won the game. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 7-0 Dallas. They took the early lead on a touchdown pass from Aikman to Irvin. Since then, Dallas has pretty well controlled the tempo.
Until Troy Aikman just threw that last interception.
Yep. Floyd was the man in motion. Here's Young. Look to throw back. Young finds no one, a flag on the play.
I think what happened, I think they were trying to throw a screen pass, Pat, and I think that everyone was covered. So what's going to happen is someone is probably downfield, illegal man downfield, because on the screen pass you get those linemen out in front.
Pushing. Bob McElwee, the referee, will let us know who did it.
But again, Steve Young, by getting outside that tight end box, knows that he can throw it away, and that's exactly what he did when he saw he didn't have a screen.
Offensive pass interference, number 40, blocking downfield
Floyd.
On a pass play. That's a 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat the down.
You see, that's blocking downfield. See, because he thought it was a screen pass. So you know that you have someone blocking downfield. See, he's not looking. He doesn't expect that Steve Young is still back there with the ball.
Yeah.
He thought Steve Young by now would have thrown the screen pass and the runner would be in behind him. He was blocking downfield.
Aggressive blocking by Floyd.
It was a heck of a block downfield. If you're going to do something and get caught, do it well.
2nd and 18. Minute 46 left to play in the first half. 49ers have 1 timeout left.
I just saw a shot of Steve Mariucci there. He's one of the few head coaches that calls his own plays. Mike Holmgren, of course. Mike Shanahan.
Wide receiver set up. Young. Boy's got somebody separated. Chuck Levy got coverage on Brock Marion. And if he hadn't fallen down, he's in the end zone.
Well, this is kind of new, this experience of moving Chuck Levy.
30-yard pickup.
And making a wide receiver out of him. They've just been working on this a couple of weeks, and they come up with a big play.
Kirby to the 23-yard line of the Cowboys. Clock running. They have 1 timeout left, remember. The 49ers do. The Dallas Cowboys have 2.
Now, anytime that the 49ers go 3 or 4 wide receivers, Terry Kirby's a running back.
Young on 2nd and 5 has a man open. It's a Wazake. Football. And the Cowboys scoop it up. Darren Woodson.
Of all the things, Wazake, you can't believe it. He had a first down.
Yeah.
He had a first down. He could have ran out of bounds. He had the first down. He could have run out of bounds and stopped the clock. Watch him here. Right here, Pat. He has the first down right there, and he cuts back in. And then when he cuts back in, Kevin Smith is right there. And boom, he pops him and knocks that ball out of there.
And Woodson makes the recovery. Remember earlier, he caught a pass and didn't get a first down. This time he had the first down.
I mean, there are times that you want to stay in bounds and you want to cut back and you want to try and make a play, but there are also times that you want to get out of bounds and stop the clock. That was the time that you wanted to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
So it's first down, Dallas, 3 wide receivers. Aikman hands to Williams. Ken Norton. Coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report, Joe Buck and Bill Moss will bring you scores and highlights from around the league. Our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. Also live from San Francisco, JB. Terry, Howie, and Ronnie will have an analysis of the first half. That's all next on the Dockers Khakis halftime report.
And Norton got his hat knocked off. You know what I like about these guys? They learn their lessons. If you look, they all got their heads on straight, and their heads are all pointing towards the field. Remember the last time we saw them? They had their backs to the field, and they knew as football players when they played, men never, ever, ever turn your back to the field.
Ronnie was the only one watching the action.
Well, he was kind of half cocked watching it. I mean, he wasn't all the way straight. I mean, he was kind of half, you know, going one way.
The big thing is they got their heads on straight.
Well, yeah, you always have to have your head on straight and just keep it on straight. Look at that bird. He's still out there eating. Isn't that unbelievable?
He didn't know anything about a blitz.
Well, that's that seated area. Yeah, we talked about that was the infield of the San Francisco baseball Giants. And then after the last game that we did here, the Ram game, that infield wasn't seated. And that's been seated since, so that makes some real good feed.
Seated and sided. Aikman gives again to Williams. And Sherman Williams gets out to the 40 and a Dallas first down, and that should take care of things in the first half. Timeout Cowboys, 1 second to go.
Well, they must figure that they have a pretty good position here to take a shot. Now they know obviously they're going to only have one play, and this is the play that what you're trying, whereas you're going to try and throw the ball in the air, and you're going to obviously you're going to throw the ball in the air, but you're going to throw the ball deep, and your only hope is that there's a defensive penalty, because the half cannot end on a defensive penalty.
1 second left to play in the first half. The Cowboys leading 7-0.
And I don't know that you have a play for that.
I'm not sure either.
You have, well, I mean, to get a defensive penalty, because you know the 49ers know they're in a prevent defense, and this is a true prevent where you have these three guys are back about 50 yards, so they aren't. There's no way they're going to let anyone get behind them.
Well, Aikman's going to try for what you talked about. Here's Sherman Williams to midfield. And that's the end of the first half with the score Dallas 7, San Francisco 0. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Dockers Khakis halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
One of the big things here, you know, and you can see the 49ers had 2 turnovers, and that came right here to 7 points for the Cowboys. The Cowboys only had 1 turnover. But this is a thing that I think is big, is that the Cowboys have been able to keep the 49ers to only 35 yards rushing. So that means that then they can concentrate on the passing game of the 49ers and on rushing Steve Young.
Well, they've had the ball 20 minutes to the 49ers 9. That helps.
That will, and then you know just keep it out of their hands, and then I think that's discouraged the 49ers a little from the running game, and then you get them one-dimensional, and that was one of the Cowboys' goals and objectives, was to make the 49ers one-dimensional on offense, and that one dimension being passing.
Toby going to kick off for Dallas. Cowboys leading 7-0. Away to Kay and Levy back deep. Line drive kickoff is going to be handled by Awezike. Down at the 24. Right now, let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Pat talked to Barry Switzer at the half about second half adjustment. As he said, the main thing he wants to do is try to get the Cowboys to set a faster tempo with some quick passes, and every now and then take the 49ers deep. Back to you.
Thanks, Pam. A faster tempo.
Well, you know, that's one of the things that they talked about a lot last year is getting in the huddle, getting up to the line of scrimmage, and getting the play off. You know, not lagging around.
A little snap.
And then, of course, going deep. I think that's going to be Michael Irvin out there with Rod Woodson.
Young gives to Hearst, who gets short yards up the middle to about the 26, a gain of about 3.
And this is a new thing for the 49ers, is not only running more, but running straight ahead. And you see Garrison Hearst got little banged up running straight ahead, but the 49ers never really did that much, just run straight ahead, man blocking. But now with this big middle of the line, Ray Brown, Chris Dahlman, Kevin Gogan, they can do those kinds of things.
Kirby replaces Hearst. Reverses his direction. Look at the block by Steve Young on Tony Tolbert.
I'll tell you, of all the quarterbacks in the National Football League that can make some of the plays that have been made by a quarterback today, that guy has to be Steve Young. You not only think about that block, but how about the tackle he made earlier
on Deion Sanders?
On Deion Sanders. Watch here, everything just gets banged up because they get penetration. Randall Godfrey, the outside guy, comes across, gets into the backfield. He stuffs Ray Brown. That makes Kirby go the other way. And then watch Steve Young on Tony Tolbert. But there aren't many quarterbacks. In fact, there aren't any quarterback. He is the only quarterback in the NFL that could make those two plays.
Could or would. Here he is back in the pocket. Gets it into Owens, and Owens gets to the 46-yard line. Brock Marion brought him down, but it's a 49er first down.
Yeah, I think that Terrell Owens is going to be one of those guys when he gets his shoulder square and going up the field, he's not any fun to tackle. And I think that he's going to get a reputation here when he can just get this thing, get it turned, and burst the way he is there. You see, the minute you catch that, now you don't have to go sideways anymore. Now you just turn the ball and go straight towards the goal line.
He's one of those guys that goes to get the ball, that he just doesn't catch it.
And he learned that from the master being Jerry Rice.
Yep. Young play fake to Floyd. Floyd trying to get away from Dexter Coakley, couldn't do it. Got to midfield and into Dallas territory, but a pickup of only about 3.
We talked about Jerry Rice, and here he is before the game, and you know they had a crowd here for the pregame show, so he wanted them to say hello to him, but he's out there running, and it just seems like just a couple of weeks ago that they thought he was going to be out for the entire season. Now he's talking about coming back in a couple of months.
This is Kirby. Near a first down for San Francisco.
Terry Kirby's a guy that doesn't want to be known as just a third down back. He wants to be a running back. And with Garrison Hearst out there, he's getting an opportunity now because he's not just a pass receiver. He is a good runner. See, here he comes out there and has a little change of pace. He waits and waits to let his blocking develop, and then he turns it up.
Good blocking by the tight end and the fullback.
Sometimes a running back has to have patience to let the blocking develop. Yeah, this is the thing that the 49ers weren't able to do in the first half, and this is what Steve Mariucci is, one of those coaches that scripts the first half like a lot of teams do now, but a little different in that they also script the second half. So now they're working on their second half script
with a few modifications. And here's Young, play fake, has time. Now he comes out of the pocket, chased back to Cias, gets the ball to Greg Clark, and Clark down to the Cowboy 30, the rookie tight end from Stanford.
Well, the rookie tight end from Stanford is a big blocker. We're talking about a guy who's 265 pounds, and his strength is a blocking. And that time, when you have a scrambling quarterback like Steve Young, he's going to run a bootleg. You see, he's going to fake here, then he's going to bootleg out to the left, and he's going to buy time because he can move and run and get away from things. And if he's doing that, then you also, as a receiver, have to move and run and get away from things.
Garrison Hearst is back, and he'll get the carry. Hearst got a blocker in front. Garrison Hearst out of bounds inside the Dallas 20, about the 19.
This is a good mixture here that Steve Mariucci wanted, and that was what he didn't have in the first half. They are able to run the ball. They had Kirby run it, and now they bring Garrison Hearst in, and again they get him in that I formation look. And this guy is a heck of a runner. I mean he can make moves to get to the line of scrimmage, moves at the line of scrimmage, and then moves once he gets beyond the line of scrimmage.
Usually he lines up in the I formation, which puts him 7 yards behind the center. And those extra 2 yards, the normal split backs are 5 yards back as they are now. But he can utilize those extra 2 when he's deep in the I. Here's Young to throw. Kirby was the back this time. Pass is caught at the goal line. McKay. A yard shy. It'll be 1st and goal, 49ers.
This is a heck of a throw by Steve Young, though, to be able to get rid of that ball. Watch how quickly he gets rid of it when he sees Uwezaki in there. Right now, he's getting the pressure, even falls back a little and throws a perfect pass in there. Because if that thing was a little later, the defender was coming across there.
1st and goal at the 1.
Some of the things that Steve Young has done in this game are amazing.
Remember, he's been playing pro football 15 years.
He's 4 for 4 on this drive.
Fumble. Young gets away. He's going to keep it himself, but he's not going to get away. Back at about the 8-yard line by Shante Carver.
That was a big play by Shante Carver because we were talking about Steve Young doing an amazing thing, and he almost did another amazing thing right there. That's because he fumbles the snap coming out of there. That's his own. He did have the ball, fumbled it coming out of there, and then knows one thing, because he throws and runs best to his left. He is going to get out there. Of course, it wasn't a pass play, so he had no receivers in the end zone.
It was Darrell Hardy he got away from. Shante Carver brought him down. Goal to go 19 times. They've made 14 touchdowns. 2nd down. The handoff to Hearst. Touchdown. Touchdown. Garrison Hearst with that last surge.
Oh, I know it, and that was a dangerous surge. Because remember, the rule of the touchdown is that the ball has to break the plane of the goal line. Garrison Hearst, you see, it's going to be a quick trap up the middle. You see Gogan pulls here. He gets right in behind Gogan. He gets a block there. Now, Garrison Hearst's knee is down, but it's not where his knee is down. It's where the ball is when his knee is down. So he's stretching to get that thing across the goal line, and he did.
For the extra point, Gary Anderson. And he ties this contest at 7 apiece. Opening moments, 3rd quarter.
Let's watch a touchdown again. Here's the knee, and here's the ball. It's where the ball is when the knee goes down, and the ball has to break the plane of the goal line, which it did.
Thompson's kickoff sails to Walker. Took it at the 2. Down at the 25. Garrison Hearst just scored his 5th touchdown of the year. He's only had 5 in his first 4 years. My Goodyear Blimp Eagle has been providing these aerial pictures. Goodyear blimps travel over 100,000 miles every year, covering major sporting events. And believe me, this is a major. The 49ers and the Cowboys always mean something.
And you know, at the 49ers on that last drive, Pat, they had 27 yards rushing. In the first half, they only had 35 yards rushing, and that was what they had to establish, and they did.
Aikman to Sherman Williams. Emmitt Smith has not returned. Williams has taken his place.
And I'm sure that Emmitt Smith isn't going to return because we saw him on the sideline. He has that groin injury, and they tried to stretch it out, and then he tried to play again and couldn't. And then when you just sit there, it just tightens up, and there's no way you can play.
I believe that's Tim McDonald.
That is Tim McDonald.
Let me clarify something I may have said a minute ago. In the first 4 years in the league for Garrison Hearst, he scored 5 touchdowns. This year, his first year with the 49ers, he scored already 5 touchdowns.
And I'll tell you, remember when he was at Georgia, in fact, in this game, we have 2 of the greatest running backs that ever come out of Georgia, Herschel Walker and Garrison Hearst. And I think when Garrison Hearst came to the 49ers, he felt that he came to some place that was pretty good. And even though he doesn't play all the offense, that he alternates with Terry Kirby, he is happy as heck to be here in San Francisco and playing for these guys.
We've just been notified by the Cowboys that Emmitt Smith will not return. So that groin problem will keep Emmitt out, and Sherman Williams at the deep back position. If something happens to him, it'll be Walker deep. Pass complete to Bjornsson. Short of a first down, taken down by Zach Brunson.
You know, the 49ers are are playing Marvin Washington now as the left defensive end. And on that play, they ran one of those zone blitzes, you know, where a defensive lineman comes in and he drops out. And that's what Marvin Washington did on that last play. Watch, he's a defensive end. You think he's going to rush. He stops, and he comes back out. And that's what they call the zone blitz. They can blitz, and then the zone part of it is a defensive lineman dropping in a zone.
Here's Aikman back to throw. Has time and hits Michael Irvin on the ground. Perfectly timed, perfectly thrown. Nobody else is going to catch it.
That's the thing. Any time you talk about this guy and Troy Aikman, it's going to be perfectly timed. I mean, these guys know each other. They can feel each other. And Michael Irvin doesn't need a whole heck of a lot of opening for Troy Aikman to get that ball in there. And I think that's what he was talking about. And he was frustrated in the first part of the game that he felt that he has Rod Woodson out there man-to-man on him, and he can beat Rod Woodson if you just throw it to him.
And I believe he can.
Yeah, but you have to pass protect, too.
Yep. Now Stepford Williams in motion. Aikman going deep. Miller. Anthony Miller. Down inside the 10 to about the 6.
And Anthony Miller got that step, and he got that separation. I said he's supposed to have speed, and I've never seen him get a step or separation. He did that time on Darnell Walker.
And he got a perfect throw from Aikman.
There's Walker up there. You see now he's not separated, not separated, not separated. He gets a little push, and right there he gets the separation. And when he got that separation, the ball was perfectly thrown by Troy Aikman. Darnell Walker has been on Anthony Miller all day and had great coverage on him, but that time Miller did separate.
First and goal at the 6. And the handoff is to Williams, who scoots down to about the 2. And a little shoving match breaks out between Eric Williams.
Yeah, and his ex-teammate, that's Ken Norton Jr. I think those two guys were teammates. I think they know who could beat whom in that one.
They forgot about being teammates.
Any contest, I think that deep in their hearts they know what would happen. But Ken Norton is a real active, scrappy guy, and of course he's friends with all these guys. But when it comes to this rivalry, I'll guarantee you there aren't any friends.
Second goal,
especially on the goal line.
3 tight ends. A little too soon.
It didn't get in. He got a good block by Nate Newton, though. I mean, Nate Newton just collapsed his part of the line, and that's where Sherman Williams tried to dive. Nate Newton did give him something to dive over. I'll say that.
Well, he is something to dive over.
Well, yeah, but watch him fire out. Here's Nate Newton here. When you got to stay low and you got to fire, and watch him come and watch him fire out right now. I mean, the ball snapped. You see that? I mean, he just collapsed his guy, and that was exactly what Sherman Williams jumped over.
Third and goal at the 1. Williams in the backfield. Didn't make it to the line of scrimmage. Stubblefield got the penetration.
Great goal line defense. No lead by the fullback either. Everyone got stuffed. Not only the back, but watch, they get in the I formation, and the fullback, the lead right there. See Ken Norton stuff him? Ken Norton comes in and stuffs the stuffer. It's supposed to be Nicky Sualua is supposed to get him. Norton takes on the blocker, Sualua, and throws him right back into the running back.
A sight that's become dreaded almost in Dallas. The field goal team on.
Well, Eric Williams fired up Ken Norton Jr., and Ken Norton Jr. stuffed that thing.
Cunningham's field goal is good, and the Cowboys lead 10-7. Steve Mariucci looking on. Michael Irvin, who contributes always.
This is where Ken Norton Jr. gets fired up. Eric Williams is going after him, and you don't need Ken Norton Jr. to get fired up, and that's because watch the play that he makes on the goal line here. This is a great play. He times that thing perfectly. He stuffs Sualua. He stuffs Sherman Williams, and that is great goal line play.
Chuck Levy returns the kickoff for the 49ers. It is slung to the ground by Darren Woodson. And a flag on the play.
Hey, the Cowboys came close on second down to getting that thing in there, and then that 49er goal line defense was superb, and they didn't have a chance, and then they had to go for the field goal. They had to kick that field goal.
Bob McElwee, the referee.
When they tried everything. I mean, they've tried running it, they've tried passing it.
Number 28 on the return. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
Holding on the return, stop called against Curtis Buckley, and there's no doubt about it.
It's holding him all the way.
Yeah. Got the towel and everything.
He's still grabbing.
4:14 left to play in the third quarter. Dallas 10, San Francisco 7. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The 49ers have the ball. And that's Garrison Hearst for about 7. This game summary coming up, brought to you by Bud Light. Emmitt Smith out of the game with a groin injury. Steve Young 12 out of 18, 138 yards, 1 interception. Turnovers. San Francisco's had 2, Dallas 1. Points off turnovers, Dallas 7, San Francisco none.
And of course, we still had that great goal line defense from the 49ers. In fact, you know, there hasn't been a rushing touchdown scored against the 49ers all year.
Hearst. First down. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to Joe Buck at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Well, guys, how about a Carolina highlight? Tim Biakabatuka out with bruised ribs, so Kerry Collins hands off to rookie Fred Lane. You think these moves are good? Drops a little Denny Terrio on us right here. A 38-14 win for Carolina. Send you back to Pat and John in San Francisco.
Fred Lane, where did he come from?
I don't know, but he got some practiced moves.
I know it. He scored 3 touchdowns. One of them was a great run. I mean, one of them I saw earlier. He ran through like 7 tacklers.
Hearst on first down gets about 5 or 6, stopped by Casillas.
Now the 49ers want to get in a pattern here. They know that, you know, that they're down by 3, but time isn't important yet. So we're not saying that, you know, you have to hurry up, you have to rush anything, you have to throw the ball. You don't have to do anything except methodically and efficiently move the ball. And those are words that the 49ers use, methodically and efficiently. That was Roy Barton, street clothes that we just saw on the sideline.
Stretched his calf muscle. This is William Floyd on the inside handoff, taking his feet out to near the 30.
Oh, bar none. There's a guy. Remember when he was drafted? His agent said he's the best fullback in the draft, bar none. So all the veteran 49ers at the time named him bar none, and he still goes by that, by bar or none or BN or whatever, whatever you want. But here's a guy who loves to play football. I mean, there's some guys that, you know, you describe this guy's a good runner, he's a good tackler, he's a good blocker, and some guys are just good football players.
He enjoys being introduced.
He gets fired up about it.
3rd and 3. Flag on the play. Pass is picked off one-handed by Deion Sanders, but there's a penalty marker on the play. Sanders goes by everybody, goes out of bounds. A penalty marker at the beginning of the play. The Cowboys, I believe, were offside.
I think that was one of those plays where the quarterback knows that he has a free play because the Cowboys moved before the ball was snapped, so he can do it. So offside. Maybe Steve Young takes advantage.
Offside. Defense number 98. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That interception.
I'll tell you, Deion Sanders still made a great play. It was one-handed, left-handed interception. But I don't know that Steve Young didn't know that. You know, that didn't see that the guy jumped, knew that he had a free play and was going to take a chance and try and force something in there. And that's the only way maybe that you ever want to throw on Deion Sanders is when the defense has a penalty and you're getting a free play.
You think he was just teasing him?
I think he could have just been teasing him.
As Shante Carver, who jumped off sides on the last play, is now down as the Cowboys lead 10-7.
See the world run. Run, world, run. See Texaco run. Visualize, hypothesize, explore, and relentlessly search and find the energy the world needs to run. Run, world, run. Texaco, a world of energy.
Nice pants.
Dockers, khakis.
Hope my car gets fixed today.
And my sink.
And my furnace. And my lawnmower. What? You idiot! You're gonna get us caught.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down,
Eddie!
make it a Bud Light.
Tonight, take a load off, grab a drink, and get ready for some fall-down laughs when James Brown hosts the world's funniest tonight on Fox.
A minute 24 left to play in the third quarter. 10-7. Shante Carver got up. I guess he was just out of breath. But Broderick Thomas has taken his place.
Out of breath or embarrassed because he was the guy that jumped off sides on the play that Deion Sanders intercepted.
On first down, it's Hearst. And Garrison Hearst close to another 49er first down.
Garrison Hearst has moves on moves, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he just gets out there and he doesn't just wait to make them. I mean, he has both guards pulling. Here's old Gogan and here's big old Ray Brown. He gets in behind Gogan and he just waits and waits and waits for him, then makes him throw, and then he has to make his move finally. You know, you get in behind a big guard like Kevin Gogan and you have to be patient because it takes a long time to run around him.
And you put Ray Brown right behind him. That's a pretty good load.
That's about 600 and about 700 pound a guy. That's close to 700 pound a guy.
That two guy.
But you know, we talk about the guards blocking. Wide receivers also have to block, and this is a good thing when you have a big wide receiver like Terrell Owens that he can catch the ball in the crowds, but can also come in and block a safety who usually is that 8th man up, can block a safety on a sweep play.
Kevin Gogan fills out the suit. Strickland, the middle linebacker, who's had some leg problems throughout the year, is the man injured. Now what do? Godfrey goes into the middle. And then Broderick Thomas has been playing defense. Now has to play defensive end.
Right. Broderick Thomas is now going to have to play linebacker. See, Broderick Thomas will go in for Randall Godfrey at linebacker. They're going to have to bring Shante Carver back because Broderick Thomas just played end for him. So now what will happen, Broderick Thomas will be the Sam or strong side linebacker. Randall Godfrey, who is their normal Sam or strong side linebacker, will become their middle linebacker.
Floyd will get enough for the 49er first down. Dave Campo has really is having to as the game progresses and people get shaken.
Yeah, here's Dave Campo right here in the end, and of course the defensive coordinator, you have to call all the defenses, the fronts, the coverages, the blitzes, and then also remember who you have in there.
Who's in the play, yeah.
And then when you get injuries, you have to make those adjustments. So it's probably a lot easier way up here where they are than down in the field trying to do that. It can get a little confusing down there.
Strickland has come back in now, and that's the end of the third quarter with the score: Dallas 10, San Francisco 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. But they hadn't been really tested, and this contest against the Cowboys was their first real test. And it's been a real test. Young is swamped by Casillas.
Yeah, Tony Casillas was coming in there. He wasn't going to go for any fake or anything. He's just getting the penetration, and you're going to see Casillas, he just runs right through here, and the guards pull the other way. Casillas doesn't go with him. He starts to go, and then he says, uh-oh, there's number 8. I better get this guy.
12 years will teach you a few things.
Well, I think somehow Steve Young didn't get the handoff there.
3 wide receivers set up. Young handoff to Terry Kirby, who gets about 5. That'll bring up 3rd and long.
Well, the 49ers in that 3rd quarter were able to run the ball. They came out and they run for 58 yards. The Cowboys only ran for 5 yards in that 3rd quarter. And, you know, we can talk about passing and quarterbacks and all that, but it's still, to win championships, you have to have a quarterback. I believe that. But you have to be able to run and to stop the run.
Over the long haul, that's always been true. Young back to throw it. Incomplete, right at the feet of Darren Woodson. Brent Jones, the intended receiver. 49ers will have to punt.
I think Kevin Smith has probably gotten more opportunities with balls around him than anyone, because everyone is trying to stay away from Deion Sanders. So everyone directs the ball to the other side of the field, and Kevin Smith is always just kind of standing around there.
Deion standing back at about the 14-yard line. Tommy Thompson to punt it. Cowboys will set up a return, or try to, for Deion at the 10. To the 32. He can do some running, can't he? He is exciting. Randy Kirk, who snapped it, again made the tackle. 13:43 left in the 4th.
Meet Sean Graham, veteran stuntman. This is how he lives. This is what he drives. What else would he drive? Chevy S10, like a rock.
Hi, how can I help you?
What's the difference between these phones?
This is analog, and this is PCS, the latest digital mobile.
Oh, why, you're Sprint certified.
Make a free local call and hear how clear it is.
Where's your mother?
Trying out phones.
I better go help.
George, digital PCS phones are much clearer than analog. I heard Mother from Saturn, clear as a bell.
You need a phone for that?
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Hey! What are you doing? You gotta use it right. Give me the blood.
You got to dig deep.
You got to dig deep.
Think back. Remember when you were 6 and we took you to McDonald's for your birthday party? All the kids, all the fun. All for you, son.
For you.
Remember that day, son? Remember when someone stole your fries, but we never found out who?
Never found out.
It was him.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By 7-Eleven, both thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by Radio Shack. You've got questions? We've got answers.
Pat Summerall, John Madden, we're in San Francisco. Bill Walsh in attendance. The resident genius is here.
Well, there's a sight that we've been accustomed to watching in San Francisco.
Looks good.
For so many years.
Looks great.
Yeah, he should look great. He's not coaching.
Aikman fires going deep. Pass is juggled by Michael Irvin. Woodson covering.
Yeah, that's been a heck of a battle all day because, you know, we talked about it earlier how they're both physical guys. You know, Michael Irvin is a physical receiver and Rod Woodson is a very physical corner. So they've been out there bumping and shoving and pushing and you know covering each other and trying to beat each other all day. This is really has been a game within a game, or a heck of a battle within a battle, these two guys, because they're two of the best in the game. And heck, Rod Woodson, remember they had that 75-year, all 75-year team.
All-time team.
All-time. Rod Woodson was on that team.
Pitch is back to Sherman Williams, and he gets a couple. They will bring up 3rd and long. 3rd and about 8. Emmitt Smith.
He pulled a groin earlier, and they tried to stretch it out, and he went back in there, and it didn't work. Then they took him in and tried to retape it, and that didn't work. So once you stop moving and stop stretching on that thing, then the whole leg is going to tighten up.
It's not going to loosen up. No. 3rd and 8. Stepford Williams, one of the wide receivers. They've gone to him on 3rd down situations. Bjornson's the man in motion. Stepford Williams. That's close.
That's going to be very close. That's one of those things that's going to depend on the spot.
Darnell Walker.
Where that official puts his foot, and then where he puts the ball on where he puts his foot.
They're going to measure.
We talked about Stepford Williams is really coming into his own, and you know, Troy Aikman, when he gets confidence in a guy, he's going to go to that guy, and Troy Aikman's 3rd down guy right now is Stepford Williams.
Based on the reaction by Switzer, he doesn't think it's the first down.
I think he's thinking of last week. Remember the spot in Philadelphia that Irving Fryer got?
Sure.
And they thought that they got a bad spot on that one up in Philadelphia. I think he's shaking his head and saying, not again, and yes, again.
And here comes the punting team.
I didn't know how it got back that far, though. It looked like it was very close, and then it was about 3 or 4 change.
Dana Stubblefield likes it.
Yeah, that's why, you know, you get a young receiver and they learn, like a Stepford Williams, on that 3rd down, you're not going to run for it. You better get beyond that 1st down marker when you catch the ball.
Ways a K back deep. Toby going to punt it for Dallas. 10-7, the Cowboys lead. And the clock running. 12.5 minutes left. K will handle. Dropped it. Got a good bounce. And the Cowboy punt coverage teams led that time by Charlie Williams. Again, an excellent job.
At the Principal Financial Group, you'll find the strength of our investment performance is your 401k retirement advantage. You'll find our flexibility will meet your insurance needs. And you'll find the balance of choice and quality you need in health coverage. For over a century, you've trusted the Principal for strength, flexibility, and balance in retirement, insurance, and financial products. At the Principal, we give you an edge.
In space, no one can hear you scream. On November 26th, everyone on Earth will. Sigourney Weaver, Winona Ryder, Alien Resurrection, rated R, November 26th, only in theaters.
Isn't that a pretty sight?
So how many miles? 50?
90.
90?
90,000 miles. Dude, that's just getting broke in for Chevy.
Is that a scratch?
Scratches give character.
The best long-term quality of any full-size pickup belongs to Chevy.
Women like character.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Whew, what'd you step in?
Why would Homer buy a gun?
The law requires a 5-day waiting period.
5 days? But I'm mad now.
Homer's exposed on a brand new Simpsons tonight.
Tonight is going to be a big night on Fox.
Don't move. After the games end, the biggest night of television begins. The world's funniest, The Simpsons, King of the Hill, and the long-awaited season premiere of The X-Files.
Yeah! It's a night of all new episodes. Tonight starting at 7, 6 Central, here on Fox. Steve Young gives to Garrison Hearst. A yard, maybe.
I know what the Cowboys have to be thinking of now. Remember, last week they had Philadelphia pretty well contained in the first half, and then the Eagles came out in the second half and really ran well against them. And you look, in fact, here it is right here. Last week in the second half, the Eagles gained 131 yards rushing in the second half. A little of that is starting today. 63 yards rushing in the second half, only 35 in the first half.
2nd and 7. Stokes in motion. Young back to throw. To William Floyd, who just lowered his head and got the 49er first down.
Yeah, that's the thing you like about, we talked about William Floyd and about being a football player and knowing, being very aware, know where you are when you catch a ball, know where the first down marker is, and just get down, get underneath, get those shoulders up, get whatever you have to do to get that first down.
Good protection for Young. 1st and 10, Young throws it back to Garrison Hearst, who won't get much. Chased out of bounds by Hervin McCormick. Right now for McDonald's game break. Let's return to Joe Buck at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
All right, guys, Jake Plummer, a 31-yard strike to Rob Moore. Only his 5th completion of the day. Didn't look like a rookie on this throw. However, Philadelphia just scored with Detmer now at quarterback. It's a 3-point Arizona lead late in the 3rd quarter. Back to Pat and John in San Francisco.
It's a three-point Cowboy lead. 10-7 at San Francisco. 2nd and 9. Floyd on the move. Here comes a blitz. Young and the 49ers pick it up. Get the ball to Hearst. Hearst gets out to the 41. Fred Strickland close by. And it was Fred Strickland who made the tackle.
One thing we talked about with Jerry Rice out, how this 49er offense has gone where they throw to a bunch of different guys. I think they've thrown to 7 different guys today in this game, and that's the thing that is really tough to defend. I mean, you just can't say, well, we have to take away Stokes, we have to take away Owens or Clark or whatever, because Steve Young will go anywhere and everywhere with the ball.
3rd and 4, 4 wide receivers. Cowboys show blitz, and they do blitz successfully, make him hurry. Pass is knocked down, and the 49ers will have to punt. Shante Carver got a hand up and knocked it away.
Yep, Shante Carver wasn't one of the guys coming. You're going to see here now what happens. Sometimes a guy just gets blocked well. He just gets blocked, and he's still on the line of scrimmage, and that's how he tipped that ball. He wasn't dropping out. He wasn't supposed to, but he just got blocked so well that he was on the line of scrimmage. And if you're getting blocked and you can't get to the quarterback, you're always taught just jump up and get in the lane.
There's Bill Bates, who put the heat on Steve Young and made him hurry. And Thompson will kick. Deion Sanders has been close to breaking. Thompson kicking away from him, trying directional kicking. Sanders fields it at the sideline and steps out of bounds at the 15. 16-yard line make it. 9.5 minutes left. 10-7 Dallas. 37 left in San Francisco. Dallas 10. The 49ers 7. Dallas ball at their own 16-yard line. Wide left is Miller. To the right is Irvin. Sualua is the up back, I believe. That's Herschel Walker. That's Sherman Williams. Not much.
You want to see what the problem with the Cowboys running this year is? It's their center, really. I mean, Clay Shiver doesn't have any size on him. And you talk about a guy just getting stuffed. Now watch what happens to the center. He's just going to get hit and knocked right into the backfield. And if your center gets knocked backwards like that, you don't have a chance. Watch 50 come flying back there. And when your center ends up back here, and he's supposed to be, pushing off the line of scrimmage, you don't have much of a chance to run inside. And that's been a problem for him all year.
And the absence of the Moose back there doesn't help. Here's Aikman chased. Chase still and throws it away. He was almost sacked. Wisely got it out of there.
Yep, and that's that rule again that we saw Steve Young use wisely a number of times, that a quarterback, if he's in the pocket, can't throw the ball away to avoid a sack. But if he gets outside the area where the tight ends would be lined up, he can throw it away. So Troy Aikman, before he could throw it away, he had to get to the outside. Then he could throw it away as long as he throws it back beyond the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long. 3 wide receivers. Aikman retreats. He is chased and sacked by Stubblefield. Dana Stubblefield, the first 49er there, takes him down inside the 5.
And that's what the 49ers were saying yesterday, that they weren't going to do a lot of blitzing, but they wanted to do stunning. Now watch Dana Stubblefield. He starts here, and then he comes this way, and you get a cross in there between the tackle. Watch Stubblefield. See, he starts up. Now watch him loop to the outside. Then he comes off. No one picks him up, and he has a straight shot at Troy Aikman. That's what you call a twins, where the 2 tackles just cross on their pass rush.
The other tackle was Junior Bryant, who occupied 2 blockers, did a good job. He didn't get there, but he did a good job. Here's a short kick by Goen. Takes a bounce, a 49er bounce, and the 49ers will take over at the 33-yard line. There's a flag on the play, however, back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know, you always talk about momentum and how big it is and how you can change it. You can just feel it changing to the 49ers right now.
Holding number 51 on the receiving team.
After the kick.
10-yard penalty. After the kick. First down.
That's Ken Norton. So the 49ers will lose 10, but it'll still be their ball. First down. It's presented by authority of the National Football League. Is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the San Francisco 49ers and the NFL is prohibited. Here's Steve Young to Garrison Hearst, and Hearst inside the 35, where he's down there.
Big old Gogan has a good sweat going on down there, doesn't he?
That is a large sweat,
well,
too.
Yeah, I know, but when you take a guy like that and you know, he's 330 pounds and you start making a pulling guard out of him, he's gonna get sweat coming out of places that normally sweat doesn't come out of.
He hasn't pulled too many times until he got here.
No, he didn't pull a lot. Of course, with the Dallas Cowboys, he played. They were a straight-ahead team. He didn't pull a lot with the Raiders. Then he came here and he's pulling all the time.
Here's Hearst. That's a first down for the 49ers. Right now, let's return to Joe Buck at the Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Guys, a good one in the desert. Philadelphia took advantage of a Jake Plummer fumble on the Arizona 20. On this TD throw from Ty Detmer to Freddie Solomon, covering 18 yards. A 4-point lead now for the Eagles. Third quarter, Rodney Peete benched. Quarterback instability continues for the Eagles. Back to Pat and John in San Francisco.
10-7 in San Francisco. They'll measure for the first down. It's inside the 30. And it is a first down. Garrison Hearst. He's added another dimension to this 49er attack.
Yeah, a dimension that really goes well with Steve Young, because before they had Garrison Hearst and then after they lost Ricky Waters, Steve Young was not only obviously their best quarterback, he was also their best running back.
And one of their fastest running backs. And off this to Garrison Hearst, and he did well to get back to the 30. Not back to the line of scrimmage, as Shante Carver made the penetration. Anderson made the stop.
I think Dexter Coakley was in there too, because the pressure comes right here, and they get in the backfield before the 49ers have a chance to start. Here's Dexter Coakley. He's 52.
He made him change direction.
He got in there and he hit William Floyd about 5 yards in the backfield, and William Floyd was the lead blocker.
2nd and 11.
That was a Ken Norton type play.
Young to throw it. Has time. Goes deep. He's got somebody open. It's Stokes. Stokes is down at the 1-foot line. What a catch. What a grab by J.J. Stokes. As Steve Young said, you never know who the star is going to be.
And Kevin Smith has played so well today. He's been all over everything. But if you're going to work on someone, like I said, you're not going to go to Deion Sanders. You're going to go to the other side. So they put J.J. Stokes over there on Kevin Smith. J.J. Stokes just gets about a half a step. Watch him. You see, he beats him there on the line of scrimmage, gets by him on the line of scrimmage, and he maintained that half a step all the way down to the goal line.
If he's not 6'5", he doesn't make that catch. First and goal at the 1. take the lead for the first time today. What a catch by Stokes.
Well, Steve Mariucci said that his wide receivers were going to have to beat, bump, and run. J.J. Stokes did it to get the ball down here. And then William Floyd makes a couple pretty good moves for a big old fullback.
Yes, he does.
To get it in the end zone untouched. Oops, we got all kinds of stuff going on.
Flags flying everywhere.
Tempers.
Good block by Kurt Scrafford on a touchdown by Floyd.
5 yards.
But most of it was running by Floyd.
And again, that J.J. Stokes, where he beat that was on the line of scrimmage when he got by Kevin Smith on the line of scrimmage. Here's a touchdown again. You see that Garrison Hearst block?
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing that the 49ers first liked when they got Garrison Hearst. They saw him and they liked that he was a tough guy and a good blocker.
Don't leave.
And he's a tough runner. For the extra point, Thompson. Anderson, excuse me, not Thompson. Here's the catch again. And that's certainly worth another look.
There's where he beat him right there.
Yep.
On those first couple of steps.
What a catch by Stokes. 14-10, San Francisco leads. 14-10, the crowd on their feet. Amazing what a camera does, isn't it?
I'll tell you, but the crowd's been waiting all day for this, Pat, for the 49ers to get ahead, because right now they're giving the 49er team a standing ovation. I think that, you know, these people love their 49ers, and they started this 7-1. They said, well, they haven't played anyone, and they don't know if they're really that good, but they are really that good.
14-10, they have just taken the lead. Now Thompson, who kicks off with one shoe off and one shoe on. Herschel Walker back deep, along with Brock Marion. Thompson's kick sailing to Walker at the 4. He dropped the ball, got it now. And Herschel Walker chased and shoved out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Boy, that hurts.
I don't know if it's that neck brace or what, but that's the second one that Herschel Walker dropped today. And Herschel Walker normally doesn't drop kickoff, but he got that big neck thing on it. I don't know that you can move. You know, you have to move your head back to look up.
Well, you know, he couldn't get his hands up a couple of times last week against Philadelphia.
I don't know that doesn't hit him. Watch this. I don't know that he can get his head all the way back. This could have hit him right in the face mask because he has his hands in pretty close.
It did.
I don't know if it did.
It did.
It was awfully close. You know, we talked about the momentum being changed. The guy that changed the momentum in this game was Dana Stubblefield on that pass rush and the sack of Troy Aikman.
First down, Cowboys at the 9. That was Stepford Williams in motion. Here's Aikman looking for some place to go, coming around the corner, chased by Lee Woodall and knocked out of bounds by Woodall.
Knocked out of bounds. He was almost knocked to Burlingame. Well, you can see the coverage out here. They had pretty good coverage. You see, they're just playing a zone, but they had a good pass rush on Troy Aikman. Like, here's what it looks like on the other side. You can just see the 49ers just playing good zone defense. They have no one open, but Dana Stubblefield again was on Troy Aikman and made him get out of there.
2nd and 8. Bjornsson on the move. Aikman straight back, looking left, throws caught by Herschel Walker as he swung out of the backfield. Didn't quite get enough for a first down.
Well, they finally doubled Dana Stubblefield because he was the guy that was giving them the problems. You remember the time the Cowboys had the ball, the play before he got the sack. He rushed Aikman to play before here. Now here's Stubblefield here, and you just go boom and stop him right on the line of scrimmage, because I think they can handle the rest of the guys if they can stop that middle, and that's the way to do it.
3rd and 1. Sherman Williams, the deep back. And the handoff There's a flag on the play as Sherman Williams got close. Don't know if he got it, but there's a penalty marker down.
I think Herschel Walker was a lead blocker, which he didn't do a very good job of blocking on, but I also think he left early.
Let's see. Bob McElwee will let us know.
And then he went running off the field after the play, too.
Illegal motion by number 34. We're going to measure to see if it's a first down.
Yeah, here's Herschel Walker right here, and you're going to see a little movement before, see right there, just before the ball is snapped, and then he goes in there and doesn't do a very good job of blocking either, because the whole thing is stuffed, and Sherman Williams has to cut back to the inside.
They're going to measure for the first down. Now they'll decline the penalty, I'm sure. And the Cowboys will be forced to punt it.
Yeah, with 4 minutes and 33 seconds, and the Cowboys having all their timeouts left, they do have to punt it here.
They're working on Herschel Walker's neck.
Yeah, he's just having a tough time concentrating. He dropped the ball on the kickoff return. He jumped off sides on the play, and then, of course, he made a poor block.
K back deep for Toby Goins' punt. Don't put any pressure on him. K fields it at the 38, straight up the middle, still on his feet. K, and he's inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. Toby Goins, the punter, knocked him out of bounds.
Look at the celebration there. He's getting the heck beat out of him by his coach, by the other players, by Lee Woodhall.
That's special team coach.
Yeah, by Coach Stewart. The whole thing, they just beat the heck out of the poor guy. Look at him there. I mean, they're hitting and loving and hugging and dancing. Look at Tim McDonald. Whoa. What the heck's going on down there?
Tough to return a punt.
Watch Uesike when he goes out of bounds here. I mean, he runs and he's working and he's working and he's working. Now, what happened? He starts, look, he's getting slapped around, knocked down, jumped on.
By the coach. No less.
And the players, the only guy that didn't get in there was that official.
Yeah.
Now, that's some celebrating.
First down, 49ers at the Dallas 28.
And again, it all started with Dana Stubblefield.
George Stewart is the coach that was involved, special team coach. Straight ahead handoff to Garrison Hearst to about the 25.
He's still playing.
Yeah. Today's game's being produced by Bob Stinner and directed by Sandy Grossman. Associate directors Mike Roig, the broadcast associates Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald, technical producers Bob Muller, technical director Joe Abenda, and the audio Bob Siderman. Studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. We got a lot of people around.
You know, Barry Switzer is thinking here that he's going to take a timeout now, and what they have to do with a score 14-10, they just have to try and hold the 49ers off to a field goal here. Because if the 49ers score a touchdown, then the Cowboys are going to need 2 scores. If they can hold them to a field goal, then they can tie them with a touchdown.
Steve Young's been over on the sideline checking with the new head coach, Steve Mariucci. Boy, you're talking to him, you can see Mariucci just getting more confident, getting more sure of what he's doing.
I'm really impressed with the job that he did. I mean, when you have your opening game and you lose your quarterback to a concussion and you lose the best wide receiver who ever played the game for the season, and then you come back and you win 7 in a row, you've done something.
First down. Cowboys were blitzing, and they might have shown it a little too early.
And they got right in there in that left side. They're going to get right in here. You see they got their lead there. There's Garrison Hearst there. You see they get a good lead there and a good haul. And he just hit that hole, ran right through it.
They're going to measure, but it appeared to be a first down. From up here, that's a long way.
Isn't it funny how when you change momentum and you get a touchdown and you get ahead, the process of winning starts wearing the other team down.
Yep.
And you start getting bigger and stronger and faster, and you can just feel it. You can just feel his 49er line, these 49er runners are getting bigger and stronger and faster.
Not funny to the defense.
And then the Cowboys, you can feel that they're getting weaker and smaller.
Like one team's going downhill and the other team's playing uphill. Hearst nearing 100 yards on the day. Behind Floyd, Garrison Hearst to the 15. That should put him right at 100.
And there's the guy who started it. I think that, you know, the Cowboys had a little momentum. They had things going. They had things under control. Dana Stubblefield got that sack. Then it was a bad punt. Then the 49ers got good field position. And J.J. Stokes beat Kevin Smith. And, of course, they scored the touchdown.
Made a heck of a catch. Dana Stubblefield is huge.
You know, we talk about the, you know, having big wide receivers and Terrell Owens, how strong he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he just took Deion Sanders and just put him down and made Deion Sanders talk to someone.
Applaud someone.
But, you know, when you have big wide receivers, you know, obviously, you know, as receivers, they're big targets, but you get a lot of other advantages where, you know, just blocking and especially blocking on outside running plays.
There's one of the big ones, Owens.
On Deion Sanders.
Hearst. Garrison Hearst. Just shy of the 10. That's the 6th 100-yard game of his career. This one is.
It's the 3rd one he's had this year for the 49ers. And like I said earlier, he found a home. Here you look. Deion Sanders has kind of had enough with Terrell Owens, so he was going to whack him. You see him, he took a swing at him with his left hand, and I think he missed him. Or else he hit Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens is so big and strong he didn't even know it.
Didn't feel it. Dallas timeout. This is all for them timeout-wise. 3 minutes left.
Yeah, and again, this is a big down, because if they can stop him here and make the 49ers attempt a field goal, then they can still be in this game.
Well, it's funny, we were talking to Garrison Hearst yesterday about growing up in a small town in Georgia, and what was Herschel Walker? He said he was Superman when I grew up.
Yeah, that was all they heard about down there in Georgia. And then he said while he was at Georgia, though, he never met Herschel Walker.
Right.
He didn't meet him until he got into professional football. Came out a year early and had a serious injury in his first year and wondered if maybe he shouldn't have stayed in college another year. But he said, now I love it all.
3rd and about 3. Garrison Hearst is taken down by Darren Woodson.
And that was a big play, because now the 49ers do have to go for the field goal. And if they make the field goal, then, of course, the Cowboys are still within a touchdown.
Thompson will hold.
Watch Darren Woodson here. You know, you talk about good football players and true warriors. I mean, he's playing with a bad leg, and the Dallas Cowboys needed a big defensive play there, and their big defensive play guy came up with it.
Gary Anderson, 16 out of 18. This one's from 28 yards away. And it's good. And it's the 49ers 17. The Cowboys 10. 15 straight field goals for Gary Anderson.
This is NASCAR 98. I'm in a groove with new scuffs. Talk fast.
And who's the best driver?
Wins Gordon. Consistency Labonte. Cups Earnhardt. All-time the king Richard the 43rd.
What's the toughest track?
Bristol's a blender. Gonna hang roughs at the Glen, but Darlington's too tough to tame.
Are fans that loyal to their driver's sponsor?
Nate.
What?
1-888 My House. I'm bumping and grinding on my way to see the Hat Man. NASCAR 98, the ultimate judge. EA Sports. It's in the game.
The 49ers 17, Dallas 10. Deion Sanders back deep with Brock Marion to return this kickoff.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think they have to get Herschel Walker out of there, and they did. And then you're wondering, well, who's going to be his replacement? And And Deion Sanders, as a kick returner, when you need a big play, isn't a bad guy to have back there.
I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy Thompson doesn't bounce this kickoff.
Yeah, or somehow, you know, I'm sure he's looking at Deion Sanders back there and knows he's there and is going to somehow keep it away from him. But I mean, you would know more about it than me, but I would think when you kick, you just have to let it go and get as much of it as you can.
Well, that's what he does.
You don't know where it's going.
Deion Sanders. Deion out of bounds, stops the clock at about the 25-yard line. And the 49ers lead by 7. Dallas is out of timeouts. Of course, they'll stop it at the 2-minute warning. They'll run one play.
Yeah, see, because they get a timeout now. Change of possession is automatic timeout. Then, as you say, then they'll get a 2-minute timeout. So they have plenty of time to, you know, by getting the ball up, spiking it, throwing it out of bounds, all those kinds of things you can do.
3 wide receiver setup. Aikman to Irvin. Pass complete. He's out of bounds. 2-minute warning stops the clock. About a 6-yard gain.
Miller Lite presents.
My name is Bill Burns, and I possess the most powerful weapon in football, the magic arrow. I sit in the Eagles' end zone, right between the uprights, and when the other teams kick field goals, I point the arrow to the left or to the right, and the ball just seems to follow. Look at that, wide to the right. That was me. I mean us.
I mean it.
I know.
I'm not coming back. I'm serious. It's fine. Oh.
Go ahead.
Across America, more people use Cellular One than any other cellular service.
Now I get to this bridge, I'm not turning around. And I mean it.
Now that you found your one and only.
No matter what you drive, Sears has a Michelin tire for you. And now they're all on sale.
Rolling down the road.
All Michelin tires on sale through November 18th.
The wait is over.
Did they give Scully this disease because of me?
Agent Mulder is dead.
What does it lead to?
The truth.
The X-Files season premiere tonight at 9, 8 Central.
San Francisco, a beautiful day. The 49ers 17-10 over Dallas. Beautiful day for them. Dallas out of timeout, 2nd and 4.
You don't think this is big for a coach?
Or a player. Aikman gets it to Stepford Williams, and that'll move the sticks. Cowboys hurry up. Clock doesn't stop. Aikman yelling the play.
Now the Cowboys have plenty of time. 49ers are a little too loose.
Here's Aikman. Williams. Stepford. Stopped by Tim McDonald. They keep him in bounds. And now time has to be a concern as the clock continues to run. The Cowboys lined up. Aikman yelling the play all of a sudden.
And the 49ers are in their prevent defense, but you know they have to prevent a touchdown. They don't have to worry about a field goal.
Aikman. Pass is deflected by McDonald, who got his hand out, intended for Stepford Williams.
The 49ers are playing very loose in this prevent defense, and this is one of those things now that the prevent defense, if it works, you never hear about it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, then you get criticized for playing a prevent defense.
Why'd you do that?
Right. The only thing a prevent defense prevents is prevention from winning. But right now, if you look at this 49er defense and you see how soft they are in that secondary, They are in a prevent defense.
Very soft. The two safety men about 20 yards deep. Eric Williams steps into the backfield.
False start,
False
number
start.
79 offense.
Penalty against Dallas.
Well, that's just
a foolish mistake.
Yeah, it is, because and it makes an 8-yard thing. I mean, they were like 3rd and 3, and that's in this offense, the way the Cowboys play, that would be very easy for them to pick up. Now they get in 3rd and longer. They're going to get a bigger pass rush, and then this is a lot more difficult situation than previous one.
3rd and 9. Aikman back. His protection holds up. His pass is complete to Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller's saying, get up there in the line of scrimmage and just spike the ball.
Less than a minute. Aikman says, get down, I'm going to spike it, and he does. Stops the clock with 54 seconds left.
See, that's
Cowboys have moved to the 49 or 40-yard line.
This is the thing, that when Anthony Miller is out here and he gets the first down, now you can spike it. Excuse me, Anthony Miller's right there, and he picks up the first down. He knows that he has the first down. Now he gets as far as he can and gets down, and know that you can spike it, because it's first down. You can waste it down. It doesn't make any difference if it's 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 after the spike. Aikman retreats. Going deep. Oh, Michael.
There's a penalty. They're going to throw
flag on the play.
I saw that official pat, and he went there and he went to pull it, and then he pulled it back in, and then he threw it out. He couldn't get it out of his pocket, but he did. Boy, this is a big call.
Wow.
They're both arguing on every one of these things is offense or defense.
No foul.
We have feet tangled, no foul.
Feet tangled.
Feet tangled, no foul.
Ooh, I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Never heard that before. Feet tangled.
Well, here it is right here, and you see Michael Irvin again starts to get by him, but good coverage here by Rod Woodson. Now what they're going to say, you see he pushes him a little there, but they said it wasn't the push that knocked Michael Irvin down, that it was the feet got tangled up. And we can watch the feet get tangled up. Now, was it the hand on the shoulder or not? He did have his hand on his shoulder. I don't know about that. And I don't know what the official saw when he threw that flag. If he thought it was feet entangled, then he shouldn't have thrown the flag.
That one we're going to see a lot of.
Yeah. I mean, the ball's in the air, and he does touch him. Now, that is a penalty.
Yep.
That is pass interference. That's the rule.
By rule, it certainly is. Here is Aikman starting Williams in motion.
I think that official called it, and someone talked him out of it.
Eric Williams jumped again. Moved on the right side. Not jumped, just backed up.
3rd down.
Eric Williams is having problems, and I know what it is. You know, he's trying to get off on the count, and the crowd is so loud that he can't hear it, so he's anticipating. And when you're an offensive lineman and you anticipate, you're going to get in trouble. That's Michael Irvin.
Penalty?
At first, he knew it was a penalty. He thought that won him the game, and then when he heard that tied the game, and then when he didn't get it, he had that other reaction.
And he took his helmet off. That could have been called a penalty. Here's Aikman retreating. And the pass is picked off. Aikman's pass picked off by Tim McDonald, and Aikman's on the bottom of that pile making the stop. With Clay Shiver in the turnover. Takes the chance away.
I'll tell you, this 49er defense battled them all day. The offense battled them all day, but the Cowboys did hang in there. This was a heck of a game.
Oh, boy.
And you see the ball went right through Tim McDonald, and then as it went through him, it bounced up in the air, and he went and got it again. Well, the crispness, the tackling in this game, the linemen going after each other, is what football's all about.
You look at Steve Young now will just kneel. The Cowboys can't stop anything. They're out of timeouts. Cowboys' record will be 4-5. The 49ers will be 8-1. The Giants are 6-3 in the NFC East. Dallas 4-5. Philadelphia depends on what happens with their game with Arizona. Washington won. They're 5-4. It was one heck of a game.
Eric Williams is standing there. He can't believe it. Can't believe that they are so good and have been so good and
for so long.
4-5.
Yep. Play of the game is brought to you by Energizer, and what else could it be but that sensational catch by J.J. Stokes?
Like we said, J.J. Stokes won that battle right there, and then he got the step or two, and Steve Young led him perfectly. That wasn't the touchdown, but they scored their touchdown on the next play. These fans are still going wild here.
William Floyd scored the touchdown. Stick with us because there are a lot of scores to update you on from around the league, and they'll do that on the postgame show when we come back. 17-10, San Francisco defeats Dallas.
You found some quiet, you got some room.
Time to enjoy life and none too soon.
So kick your feet up
And pull your seat up.
Stop making whoopee. You got the moves, your second wind.
Oh, the ride is thrilling, so let the fun begin.
You've earned it all, folks.
And here's the call, folks, for making whoopee.
The new 98 DeVille for the time of your life.